All right, last-minute ballots are still being counted in some parts of Texas, but every big race has already been called. The surprising thing tonight is the voter turnout numbers that we are seeing and saw. Participation in the 2022 midterms was historically bad. Here, take a look at this. Almost 9.6 million registered, I say registered voters in the state didn't even show up to the polls this year to cast their vote. For reference, only around 8 million people did vote. More registered didn't vote than did. The lack of people at the polls was so large, it beat the previous record of registered voters not voting, which was around 9.3 million registered in the 2014 midterms. But how did we do here in Central Texas? Joining me live now from the 6 newsroom is anchor Bailey Bates to talk about it. Bailey, those are all state numbers. What did our local voter turnout look like?
Of course, with an increase in registered voters and also people seeming to be particularly, politically enthused with expectations were high, but they were far from that.
The Lone Star State, long recognized as dominantly red, has also always been known as something else.
Texas used to be sort of nationally known as a very low voter turnout state.
But has it gotten better? Pat Flavin has 13 years under his belt as a political science professor at Baylor University. He says he isn't surprised by less people voting in the 2022 midterm election.
2018, there was a huge increase compared to 2014 in voter turnout. This year, it's probably going to be less than 2018.
And he's right. In this year's primary, Bell County had 87,885 total ballots cast. That's only 38.5% of total registered voters. In the 2018 midterm elections, Bell County had 86,516 ballots cast. That's about 1,000 less than what we saw this year, but there were tens of thousands more registered voters. Switching to McLennan County, 72,806 people cast ballots in the 2022 midterm elections, which is 47.5% of the county's registered voters, compared to 2018, which had a larger turnout with 75,787.
Voter apathy can be common. It is a real thing.
Flavin says elections and items on the ballots can be overwhelming, especially as Americans, with how often we vote. But turnout can also be impacted by access to voting.
The research shows that making it easier to vote boosts voter turnout.
Texas has added more early voting days, but has stricter rules compared to other states when it comes to registering and absentee voting. Flavin says concrete changes could be made if Texas wants more voters.
And the end result of that would be we would get to hear from more Texans and who they think should represent them in Austin and in Washington.
Now, Flavin says that the biggest increase in registered voters was in younger people ages 18 to 29, but the group is still the lowest to participate in elections. The big point, though, 9.6 million Texans could have drastically changed the results that we got yesterday, Chris.
Yeah, when you think about it, let's say a state like Arizona has 7 million total citizens or people in it. So you're talking about 29 million Texans, 9 million or more choosing not to vote even though they can and are registered. Interesting, Bailey. Really appreciate your insight there for those numbers.